What's up, folks? I wanted to talk about trust issues today. Trust issues and basically what happens to nice guys that finish last too many fucking times. We all know that. And anybody that's going to argue and say, oh, nice guys don't finish last. Bullshit. And I've usually heard women say this fucking horse shit about how nice guys don't finish last. It's probably because she's got a nice guy that she's taking advantage of right now. And she's fucking him over and using him for everything he's worth to her. He will finish last when you're done with him. So spare me that fucking argument right off the bat. But what ends up happening to these nice guys that continually get into one rat bastard relationship after another? One of two things happen. Either he gets to a point where he doesn't give a fuck and he ends up becoming an asshole, or he ends up becoming a player and he ends up burning bridges in the future with girls that could have potentially been great. He decides at that point that, hey, the bitch is going to fuck around anyway. She's probably running the game. I'm going to play too. Fuck it. And he becomes an asshole. That's one thing that can happen. The other thing that can happen to these guys is that they develop serious fucked up trust issues. Where they sit back and they analyze every little fucking thing. And the slightest little inconsistency, the slightest little thing will trigger them. And they'll start to close themselves off, and they'll start to distance themselves to the point where they're completely cold to the situation. Where after a while, the relationship just seems like a fucking lead weight around their ankle. Because they want to believe, but they are always in this fucking, what I call a whirlwind cycle. Where they're questioning themselves. And I've said before, folks, that if you question your gut instincts, that's the first sign of denial. Right? So they start questioning themselves. Was that bullshit? Is there something behind this? Or am I just jaded and am I just fucked up and thinking into it too far? And usually when somebody tells me that I am thinking into things too far, I'm really not. Really, the fact of the matter is that I've seen past their bullshit, and now they're shocked. They're shocked because they thought they were so fucking smart. They thought they had me fooled, but they didn't. And I'm also one of these type of people that I'm going to see through your bullshit long before I ever tip my hand. Long before you ever know that I'm on to you, bitch. I'm going to see through your horse shit. See, the reason that I got to talk about this today, folks, is because due to my own trust issues, it's hard for me to believe in anything. And it's because I've, over the years, fallen in love with whores. And that's the way it is. I mean, you get with them, sex is off the charts, everything's great, they're all into you, you're all into them. We've all been there, right? And you get all this ooey gooey on fire and love. I'm crazy about this motherfucker. This is the one. And I don't know if there's actually the one for anybody. I think either it works out with the motherfucker or it doesn't. I don't think, yeah, there's a billion people on the planet and you're the one. Horse shit. I think you could go anywhere on the planet and make a connection with somebody. And if you were both true, you could make it work. So I don't think there's just one. That's bullshit. Oh, we were meant to be. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that too many times. People who were meant to be, people who married their best friend, people who were with their fucking soulmate. Right? And then it didn't work out. 6 months later, 5 years later, some people have been married. And this is one thing I've always had a hard time with. People that are married 16 to 20 years, 30 years, and they just decide, hey, I can't do this anymore. You've invested that much of your life Wow. Why not break it off sooner than later? Right? I mean, the reason I'm sharing this, folks, is because, and this is a personal note, whether or not I should share it, I don't know. But I got to get off my chest, so fuck it. Last week, I broke it off with my girl. And I would have to say it's, well, not the only time in my life, but she was a good woman. And, it was a fucked up situation. But she was a good woman. I mean, she didn't, on a number of levels, didn't do anything wrong. She was honest with me, and she was supportive. She didn't fuck around on me. She was old school. Got a lot of admiration for her, a lot of respect. And at one point, I believed that she was the one. I dated her years ago, and things didn't work out then, and went through some other fucked up relationships, and felt like it didn't work back then because it was too soon after my divorce, and I was still really fucked up. And thought, man, that was the one that got away. And all these years later, reconnected, and we were together for about a year and a half. But there was too much distance, and as much as you want to make it work, folks, long distance doesn't work. Either somebody's getting played or somebody thinks they're getting played, and that was my issue, is that there was too much time and space, and I kept trying to tell myself, don't be a selfish prick. You got your life, she's got hers, but it was just too much time and space. And when you spend that much time alone, and you don't see somebody for 3 or 4 weeks at a time, that connection starts to dissolve. At least it did for me. So, I started feeling jaded, and I would toil over this shit daily, wondering, what's going on, and then, those jealous feelings would come in, and suspicions would come in, and I started asking myself, okay, let me step outside the box for a minute, and if somebody was to write me here on YouTube and say, hey, here's the situation. I don't see this girl. I don't hear from her very often. And that's usually about 3 weeks before I ever see her. And then it's, for a day. Maybe she'll stay the night or something. And then I don't see her again for another 3 weeks. Well, my first thought is, okay, you're the other guy. There's something else going on. You might as well break that shit off and get on with your life. But it was hard for me to take my own fucking advice because, why? I had something invested. You know what I mean? I had time invested, emotion invested, and I cared about this person a great deal. But, being that I had these fucked up trust issues, I started shutting down. And every time plans would be broken, or because hey, if you tell me something, you better fucking follow through with it. Don't set up plans with me and be like, oh, last minute, oh, you know what, I ain't going to be able to make it down this week. Or, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be able to, we'll put this off till tomorrow. No, bullshit. Because that tells me right there something else was more important than I was. That don't work for me. You know what I mean? I've set everything else aside for you. If something pops up and it's more important than my time, okay, cool. All right. I just start to shut down. Well, that went on for a little too long. The whole shutting down process, not feeling like I was much of a priority. So it was like, for me, it got to a point where it was, here I am, alone 95% of the time, but yet I'm attached to this relationship. And I'm not feeling it anymore. So I figured instead of just playing the fucking role and hanging on until whenever, eventually maybe someday we'll be together. To me, if I feel alone, I believe that I should be alone. And I think that's true for everybody. I mean, if you're in a relationship and you feel alone, you don't feel that closeness with somebody. You don't really feel like they have your back. So why the fuck are you in a relationship? Because this is where all those nice guys finish last scenario comes into play, folks. Right? You get burned enough times, you get cut enough times, you lose enough of yourself enough times. It's like, you know what? I don't think I want to be fucking stifled by a fucking relationship. I don't think that I need to put up with bullshit. You know, I like to laugh. I like to enjoy my life. And that's one thing I can't get enough of, folks, is laughter. Just, I mean, that's the best drug on the planet for me, is a good fucking laugh. Just laugh till you fucking choke. And if, you know, being in a relationship, I don't know, it's stifling to me. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, I don't know. I've been in different relationships, you know. In the last couple of relationships, I didn't have this euphoric feeling, you know, that you get sometimes when you meet somebody and they're like, you think they're the one. Oh, this is it. This is the one. This is the special motherfucker right here. Right? And you get that high off of it. Like an adrenaline. And it's fucking, you just being around them makes you feel alive. I haven't felt that in a long time. You know? And sadly enough, those relationships that I did feel that way in were bullshit. They crumbled and they fell apart. So, anyways, folks, I wouldn't even call this a rant. I'd just say it's a blog, maybe. Hope I haven't bored you to death with it. But, yeah, man, I mean, had a good woman for a year and a half. I had to let her go. You know, she may think I'm a prick or whatever. But, I mean, I don't know. You know, I talked to some of my friends about it. One of my friends thought, oh, she may have been the one, dude. You missed out. You fucked that off. Maybe. But, you know, I gotta live my life. You know, and I can't put my fucking life on hold for somebody else. You know what I mean? Because while I'm on hold and I'm spending time alone, I'm wondering what the fuck you're doing. I'm spinning shit. Every little fucking thing you do, every inconsistency, every text message that's not returned, or ignored for that matter, or phone call that's ignored. I'm like, okay, bet, all right. So I don't know. I just, I guess my point being to you ladies that'll pop up in social medias and say, where have all the nice guys gone? Where are all the good guys at? Well, they've all been changed. They're still around. But it's dumb bitches like you that fucked them over and lied to them and ran game on them. Now they're not nice guys anymore. Either they became players or they'd rather fucking be alone. And being alone, folks, don't get it twisted, don't get it fucked up. It is not a depressing thing. Being alone and being able to fucking breathe, being able to make decisions and choices and just live your fucking life without having to consider somebody else's emotions or how are they going to take it, or are they going to get jealous? How will this make them feel? Well, fuck that. Life is too short. Life flies fucking by. You get older by the fucking day, man, and you never know when it's going to end. So why not just enjoy your fucking life? Live on your terms. And don't fucking worry about all that bullshit. If it's supposed to happen, it will happen. If it doesn't, fucking enjoy your journey. Too many people out there, oh, well, I'm never going to find happiness in this life. Really? You're looking for somebody else to complete you? You're looking for somebody else to give you happiness? When happiness has got to start here. You got to be content with who you are. Know who the fuck you are. Sure, you might have made some fucking mistakes in life. Who hadn't? Have you bettered yourself from it? Have you walked away from it? Or are you still the same goofy motherfucker you were 20 years ago? Think about it. Fuck, man. Like I say, and I've said it 1,000 times, life is a fucking journey, folks. Not everybody's going to walk that same path with you all the fucking way. There's people in your life who you haven't even fucking thought about in the last 6 months that are gone. They may not be dead, but they're gone. They're all fucking living their lives. You lost touch. But at one point in time, you're like, that's a friend of mine. They're gone. Not everybody's supposed to walk with you all the way to the end. And I think that when you reach the end, you're going to go out alone anyways. So stop putting so much fucking stock into relationships and wondering why this always happens to me. Fuck it just happens. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But when that kind of shit happens to people, it changes them. It fucks them up. You know, and that's from my own personal aspect, is that every time that I'd been in a relationship that I really believed in and it turned out to be bullshit and I'd let him go, you know, I lost another little piece of myself. And you can only do that so many times before you're a completely different kind of motherfucker. Before you completely just stop believing in it. You know, and you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're just going through the motions. It gets thin. And you know what? It's not fair if you're in a fucking relationship and you're starting to feel dead about the relationship. You need to break it off. Don't fucking waste that. It's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt you to do it. But you both need to be able to break ties and go your way. They can go their way. Don't fucking eat up somebody else's journey, folks. And I think that's what's really fucked me up the most is the time that I've fucking wasted. I'm not about wasting any more fucking time. You know what I mean? I don't waste and invest a bunch of fucking time in something that I really don't see having a future. You know what I mean? Or, you know, maybe we'll be together in 4 years. Maybe we'll be together 5 years down the road. Whenever I finish doing my shit, then maybe I'll fit you in. That doesn't work for me. You know, doesn't work for me. I can't fucking wait around for somebody. There's no guarantees on tomorrow, much less 5 years down the road. I'm not going to stay locked into a fucking relationship, seeing somebody maybe once a month, twice at best, for the next 5 years. No, thank you. I'll pass on that. No matter how righteous of a person she was. I can't do that. It's not, you know, I'm not being true to myself doing that. So, you know, anyways, you know, like I said, she was a good woman. She was, you know, a great person. Great catch for somebody. It just, you know, in order for me to be fair about shit and be true to myself, I had to break it off. So, sucks. You know, it hurt, you know, and I was sorry that I had to hurt her too, but she'll be better for it. You know, better than being with somebody who's always questioning, somebody who's always second guessing, especially if you ain't doing nothing wrong but living. So, anyway, it's just, it is what it is, folks. Appreciate you watching. Sorry I've rambled on so much. I had to kind of get this shit off my chest. So, in closing, folks, I just want to say, if you're in a fucking relationship and you're not happy, end it. If you're being tempted by other people, that means that the one that you're with doesn't mean that much to you. You need to fucking end it. Don't waste somebody else's fucking journey. And stop asking what happened to all the nice guys. You fucked over all the nice guys that you knew, bitch. And that's what happened to them. Now they're assholes. I'll talk to you later. Peace.